Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Swipe Up 116, the show where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. Let's get it started, shall we? Just watching that. First off, the sound of that is quite amazing. But I'm exhausted just headbanging to it. Despite, I mean, this is probably towards the end of Zhongwei Lee's training. The champion in the what is he, flyweight division, strawweight. My bad. I'm horrible with remembering which weight classes are which. But UFC champion Zhongwei Lee training. I think her next fight is supposed to be with Rose Namajunas, I believe, is the fight that is supposed to be booked at some point. But with COVID going on, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's what's keeping this fight from happening. Unless it's already booked. Super excited. Zhongwei Lee, just an amazing fighter. Her fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, fight of the year, potential fight of the year anyway. That was just an insane battle. But to watch Zhongwei Lee train, her training videos on IG are just next level. And just listening to this is just, I mean, this should be a ringtone. This should be the alarm clock for every lazy person. To get out of bed. It's just, wow, some kicking ass. All right, moving on. The sound of that post was my favorite part. Now moving on to Sam Morril, comedian, has a new special that he developed and filmed while during quarantine. He's a New York comedian, and he filmed his special doing rooftop comedy. I guess that's just rooftop. It's, doing comedy on roofs is really popular in New York. Parking lots is also another thing that's popular around the world, or at least around the U.S., as well as some drive-in theaters. But this one was just beautiful. Let's see this clip real quick, and then I'm gonna talk about it a little bit.
I repeat myself. I said, I was like, man, I love this Thai restaurant. She goes, you've told me that 3 times. And I said, you're the only person that I hang out with anymore. You want to spend all your time with me, there's going to be reruns. I can't bring it every night. That's what a relationship is. It's like a TV show where the writing gets progressively worse. Because season 1, you're like, this is good. Season 3 comes along, you're like, we should kill off a character. We got to keep people engaged here.
Just, it's a beautiful special. First off, it's free on YouTube. So go to youtube.com/Sam Morril, I believe, I would imagine, is his YouTube page. He has another special that came out this year just before the pandemic, I believe. I think it's called I Got This. That one is on the Comedy Central YouTube page. This one being on his own personal YouTube page. Both are free. Both are funny. But this one, definitely unique. I love anything. I love people that do things that break rules, these like unspoken rules of how things should be produced. Whether it's like the runtime on your documentary or how you distribute your new whatever. So the fact that he filmed all of this on the rooftops is, one, beautiful. More beautiful than any. It's one of the most beautiful comedy specials I've ever seen. Let me start there. Of course, it takes place different parts of the day, different rooftops, but all comedy specials are edited from multiple tapings. It's pretty rare that a comedy special comes from a single performance. So you do get to see different rooftop views during different times of the day, but definitely the most beautiful special. Also, very funny special. So I recommend it if you're if you're a fan of stand-up comedy and you want to go support a stand-up and watch his special for free. Highly recommend checking it out. I mean, as opposed to another special that came out during quarantine from Kevin Hart, which I'm not a big fan of his in general, but I wanted to see what his new special would be because he filmed it in his home, you know, which the production of that one was so fake, so fake. It was like there's like 20 people in his living room, but the sound is edited to make it sound like a couple hundred and just no jokes. Like the first 15 minutes is like him trying to gain sympathy for getting coronavirus despite not showing any symptoms, and then like how tough his life is as a famous person. I don't know. I had to stop it. It just the sound felt like canned laughter, and the jokes were not present. It was just like his cadence alone and the way he spoke was enough for the audience to laugh, apparently, or at least for the editors to juice up the laughter. I just couldn't do it. I can't. It's so hard to watch TV shows that have fake laughter. So to watch a comedy special that clearly has fake laughter versus this, with it being on rooftops, it's like you're losing a lot of the laughters, but you still hear it. Like you hear enough laughter to where it's good. He didn't make Sam Morril didn't make the sound of the laughter of the crowds because they are small crowds. He didn't juice up the volume to make it sound like unrealistically like uproarious. But a great special. Go check it out. Sam Morril on YouTube. Let's move on to the first first person to get the COVID vaccine in the UK. 90-year-old woman was the first person to get it, and this is her being wheeled out down the hall while all the nurses applaud. And of course, because of the lack of leadership in our country, other countries are getting the vaccine before us because they ran out of supply, and the U.S. just took too long to say, yeah, we'll get some of that, because Trump is a worthless human that should be caged and thrown into a deep ocean with the rest of his family and let the fish pick him dry. At least then he will be adding to the global positiveness by feeding the fish with his life instead of just so much destruction with his inability to do anything. So this was on December 8th on a Tuesday. It's nice that the vaccine's finally coming out. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, people are still going to be dying from COVID from all the. I mean, there's so many people that don't believe. I mean, they don't believe that the COVID's real. They don't believe in vaccines. They don't believe in a lot of things, but yet they believe Trump is like a good leader or a good businessman or good at anything, which he's failed at literally everything he's done. Moving on now, so props to her. Moving on now, another piece of news. This time, some sad news, I guess. I don't know if anybody died in this, but it was the rocket, SpaceX rocket, Elon Musk's company SpaceX. Their rocket exploded during a landing attempt. The thing I have a problem with in this video is the fact that it looks like it cuts from, not to say that the video's fake or anything. It's just I don't understand the editing choices of, like, right when the rocket seems to make contact, it cuts to what seems like a different angle to show the explosion, which I don't get it. I don't know why you would do that, but it is kind of it's crazy that there's NASA has competition in space, and big explosion. Hopefully nobody died. I think they're just testing out their stuff still. I don't know. I think they've put some people in space. I don't know. People gonna die, man. You're doing crazy stuff. Crazy things happen. That's just life. Moving on to crazy stuff. KFC, this is like the future of entertainment, by the way. As companies, as brands start using produce movies and TV shows just to sell products, this is kind of the worst expression of that. Lifetime and KFC have teamed up to do a recipe for seduction, a Lifetime original mini movie presented by Kentucky Fried Chicken, starring Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders. It really seems like a movie ad that you would see in Idiocracy. The fact that this is a reality is just insane. The fact that it just makes me feel so bad for like the next decade of entertainment if this is the kind of stuff that's going to be produced. And I just feel bad for Mario Lopez's career. I mean, it's one thing to do a commercial for KFC. It's another thing to be Colonel Sanders in some like weird like rom-com melodrama KFC commercial. I don't know. But let's end with a little holiday cheer from the Coachella Valley. There is no snow in the Coachella Valley, but there are plenty of tumbleweeds. So a couple Santa Claus, couple husband and wife, or maybe two husbands. You know, it's LGBTQ plus. All are welcome in the Coachella Valley, but it's two I don't know, tumbleweed people. Just the closest we got here for Christmas. All right. Well, let's do some shout outs and get out of here. Shout out to Zhongwei Lee MMA, Sam Morrill, NPR, KFC, and Coachella Valley. But most importantly, shout out to you. Sign up for Ting's cell phone service. They have super cheap cell phone plans. You only pay for what you use, and you get $25 for credit when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. Use that $25 for your bill for a new phone. If you already have a phone, bring it on over. I love Ting. I've been using them for years, and I think you'll love them too and love saving money. Get yourself $25 in credit. Go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!